Let's get you some plumbing. Well, today I got both the American Standard Cadet and the Kohler wellworth set up, and I decided I might flush a rag down both of these to see. So, yeah. Let's start out with the American Standard Cadet. Oh, looks like that plugged it. That actually kind of surprises me. Did that plug it? No, oh no, it didn't. It didn't. It just got stuck. Okay, never mind. It didn't plug it. I think this wellworth could take it easily. Okay, never mind. Okay. Well, I think the Cadet probably won this one easily, but still, I still think it can. I'm gonna try it again. I still think it can do this, actually. I don't think, so I'm gonna put the, so I don't think the Cadet necessarily has won this yet. I think, but I still think it's gonna flush it. Let's try it again. I'm pretty certain it can. And I was right. So, yep, I think for this one, at least this round, I gotta call it a tie because they both took it down easily. It's just the Kohler wellworth. The thing was, I still think, I know it definitely can, because when I flushed it down the American Standard Cadet, it was kind of all condensed, whereas with the Kohler wellworth, it was spread out a ton, so at that time it was spread out a little bit more, so it didn't count. Whereas it was like just really like all kind of, it was like confined to the size of the craft way with this, and whereas with the Kohler wellworth, it wasn't, it was all spread out a ton, so that's the only reason it clogged it. It would have taken it had I just flushed it down, kind of the same way I did with the American Standard Cadet. Now I gotta do a bull rinse test as well. And that is gonna, hang on, let's see. Let's see, let's get a ton of like dirt and stuff. Yeah, the Kohler wellworth is just filthy right now. So I'm gonna do a bull rinse test. Let's see. Alright, that did excellent. Oh, it looks like, hang on, this thing, no wonder this thing is still filling up. Hang on, guys. Ryan, I'm making a video, just so you know. What? Yeah, it's just my little brother, that's all. He was just asking me a question. Some more dirt. I think their problem was just yeah. It's about the same amount of dirt. Let's see how well the American Standard Cadet does. However, it is not done filling up. So we're gonna wait. also, yes, I did put an old style ball cock valve in it. Yep, it's a brass one. So yeah, it's pretty cool. If I can find some leaves and stuff, I would flush that down too. If I can find some, I could probably find some. It's basically done filling. I think the Kohler Wellworth won that one because there's no dirt on the Kohler Wellworth. The American Standard Cadet obviously is a great toilet, and there's a little bit of dirt in some areas. I mean, it still did a pretty good job. It's just so I think me and Kohler Wellworth won this round. And now I'm thinking I might get a little bit of like grass and stuff, like a lot of grass. Help me gather up some grass and stuff to put in the toilet. I'm pretty sure this is something just about every toilet could take. I'll start out with the American Standard Cadet. Yeah. This is something I'm pretty sure just most 99% of toilets can flush. And with no problem, actually probably just about any toilet. I'm gonna do another one on the American Standard Compton later on, versus the American Standard Cadet. So yeah, this is it. Put some more. That was pretty good. Yeah. I gotta get more grass to put in the Kohler Wellworth. Yeah, just a toy gun. So, just like, yeah, it's not real, don't worry. So, this actually might be a little bit more grass. I'll just flush it in. Flushed it all down. So yes, I was holding the tank fiber down. So flushed it all down, so yeah. So yeah, now I need to find something else I can flush down it. Like I might flush like some paper towels or something. Or something else like. You know, these are just some of my tools and stuff. Like these are old fluid master fill valve that used to be in the American Standard Cadet. Let me see if I can get rid of some of I'm honestly actually surprised as to what didn't actually rinse all the glue out. It still is a great toilet either way. I decided I might do a low water usage test on both of these toilets. So, color wellworth, it's got an adjustable flapper valves. So with the American Standard Cadet, I'm just gonna have to do it manually because adjustable flapper valve was the Kohler wellworth, which was set to use 3.5 gallons before. Now set to use probably about less. That was hardly any water too. Let's try that out on the American Standard Cadet. They're both pretty good. Low water. A ton of water. Flush. Everybody says a lot of times, a lot of plumbers will say that vintage toilets use a lot more water, when really most toilets, just in general, can work just fine on like 1.6 gallons. Like for example, my American Standard Compton, as you can see right here, flushes just fine on 1.6 gallons. Yeah, this is the area where I keep all my toilets right now. And it flushes just fine on 1.6 gallons. The same applies to this toilet, which the thing is, toilet bowls, I mean, they flush just fine on a lot of the times, toilet bowl has to fill up with more water. So I can, so I think like vintage toilets overall are better. They flush more. They're easier to use. They're the only thing I can say that is sometimes it's harder to find parts for them, which even so you can usually put just about any parts in them, except if it's like certain type of vintage toilet. Like with this toilet I could put like just about any fill valve or any flush valve in it. It is recommended to use the American Standard like actual flapper, which I haven't done because I couldn't find one at the store. I wanted to show you though just how much water that Kohler wellworth flushed just now. Pay close attention to the toilet tank. That is not a lot of water. So I think this proves that you don't need a low flow toilet to save water. Even so, 3.5 gallons isn't a lot of water, really. I honestly think that if I think if we went back to making vintage toilets like 3.5 gallon toilets like these, the toilet, you'd never have like issues with the toilets clogging. Also, if you're wondering where you can get toilets like this, I mean, most people in the toilet community know this, but if someone is new to the toilet community or wants to buy a old toilet like this, they're easy to find on eBay, and they're easy to find at salvage yards and like the Habitat stores, like places where like reuse centers to like. And occasionally, if you want one this bad, you can also find them you can also, if some fool decided not to donate the toilet and throw it out instead, then you can find them on the side of the road occasionally, or in the dumpster. Which, honestly, I think it really bothers me when people just replace these toilets simply because they're old. They're great toilets, and it's just like, makes no sense why you'd throw away a toilet like this that still works great and one that doesn't have any issues. Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, I've seen it where in videos some people are idiots and they're like, oh, there's no sense in fixing the toilet, why not replace the whole toilet? It makes no sense to me. It's like they're almost, if you can fix it, there always is sense in fixing it. Because it usually costs more to replace an entire toilet than to fix one. Because, like, for example, a toilet is like, the cheapest ones are like maybe $50 or $60. Now, and a fill valve for a toilet or a flush valve is maybe at most like $20. At most, it's usually like $10. Same with a wax ring or like all the other parts you can buy for toilets. There is no sense in replacing a toilet over fixing one that can be fixed. It makes no sense to me why someone would just replace an entire toilet when it can easily be fixed. Like, I've seen videos where this one guy, he thought that it was cheaper to replace an entire toilet than to fix one. Also, another thing to keep in mind is, now, it's just makes no sense. 99% of the time, it costs more to replace a whole toilet than to fix a toilet. Another thing is, with replacing an entire toilet, if you have a plumber do it, a plumber is going to charge you more to replace an entire toilet, and you'll get charged for like the cost of the toilet he buys. Because normally plumbers will buy you a toilet when they pull a toilet out. And the plumber will charge you for the cost of the toilet usually as well that he's putting in. Which adds up to like $300, maybe $400 sometimes. Whereas when a plumber replaces like a fill valve or flush valve or a wax ring, he'll just charge you for the price of the part he bought and the amount of work, which usually is at most like $250. It makes totally no sense to replace an entire toilet, is the thing, in my over fixing one. Anyways, I'm just saying that. So if you have a really vintage toilet in your house that can be fixed, like, fix it. Don't replace it. That's the thing. If you have like a really old toilet that like may have some issues, don't replace it just because it's old or just because someone tells you it's cheaper when it's not. It costs, because the toilet costs like toilets can cost up to like, some toilets are like up to $400. Most are like, and some are like really inexpensive at around $50. But it's like, just there's no sense in replacing a whole toilet rather than fixing one. Like a fill valve, a flush valve, a tank to bowl kit, or a flapper, those are all no more than $20. Literally that. Same with the toilet seat. Like, a toilet seat is maybe $5, maybe not even. A toilet seat, all the parts, the toilet, no more than $20. Now, if you have to replace all of them, it could be kind of expensive. But like, still, and also if you do, even if you do replace the entire toilet, don't buy something that's a piece of crap. Like, in other words, here are like good. If you're ever considering replacing your toilet, which, if it's a vintage toilet, I'd discourage replacing it. You should just fix it in that case. But if you have like a toilet at your house that clogs a lot, like such as a really cheap like Glacier Bay toilet or a Toto toilet, I can see why you might want to replace a toilet like that. And if you do replace a toilet like that, brands I recommend buying is, if you don't want a vintage toilet, buy something like from a brand like such as Kohler. Kohler's a good brand. Gerber is also pretty good. American Standard are some of the great. Like, Kohler or Gerber are probably the best brands to get, because Kohler is also kind of expensive too, but they're not crazy expensive. But either way, don't buy a Glacier Bay toilet or a Toto toilet. The reason don't ever buy a Glacier Bay toilet is they clog easily. They're just poor quality and they have terrible bowl rinse. This is the reason not to buy a Toto toilet. A Toto toilet, while everybody might say they're decent, while some people might say they're great, they're not. They're pieces of junk. In fact, I actually had one at one point, and it clogged so easily. It was like $400 too. It was a piece of junk. It was at one of the houses we used to have. We sold the house, and my relatives one of my relatives had a Toto toilet, and she said it clogged really easily, And so and it's just like, makes no sense. So just don't buy those two brands. Don't buy Toto Glacier or Glacier Bay, because those two brands are just. Also, Toto toilets are like $400 too. So it's literally, that is basically like paying $400 for an oversized urinal. Basically, that's what buying a Toto toilet is like. And if you're ever buying a toilet to replace, spend a little extra, or don't spend too much money, and don't spend too little money. Spend about like maybe $200 at most, and buy like a Kohler toilet or some other good toilet. That don't cheap out and buy a Glacier Bay, and don't go too expensive and buy a Toto toilet. Overall, I still haven't decided when I was doing the American Standard Cadet versus the Kohler Wellworth. I think the other two challenges were tied, but the Kohler Wellworth did win the bull rinse challenge, so I think the Kohler Wellworth probably actually overall won this. That is it. Thank you for